Hiya, it's Kerry from Mobilates, and thankfully it's a little cooler here today, a bit muggy, no real sunshine, but the heat has been a little kinder. So we're going to do 30 minutes of gentle exercise, and it's a mix, and it depends on what you like. We've got standing options, sitting options, and lying down options, and that could be lying down on your bed. Just pull the duvet back. The sitting options could be on the edge of your bed, and I'll keep moving throughout the options and keep suggesting different ways of doing either the same thing or a very similar thing. How are you doing? How has the last week been? Have you been able to move, or has it been too hot and you've just had to take a break? Maybe this is the first thing you've done since that really hot spell. So shall we get moving? Let's keep it gentle. I've got my water bottle somewhere down the side. I don't think you can quite see it, but it's there. Keep remembering to take little sips of water. Who's joining us? Hiya, Jean. Oh, lovely to have you. We're going to start with our feet pointing forwards, a comfortable gap between your legs. And let your knees soften a little if you're standing. If you're seated, just sit on the front half of your chair, a little bit of room behind you. We're going to go into some pelvic tilts. So let's put our hands on our waist first and send the breath there. Oh, someone else coming in. Hiya, Christine. Nice to have you here. Was that anybody else creeping in there? Oh, thank you. It's all the action going on. Right, we're going to take a slow inhale, not deep, just a normal breath in through your nose if you can. And we're sending it to our sides where our hands are. Mine are somewhere on the bottom of my ribs, my high waist. And then slow breath out through your nose or through pursed lips like you're blowing through a straw. Who's that creeping in there? That's just another message, I think. So wide, and then that slow breath out could be like you're blowing through a straw. One more like this. You can see I'm getting wider across here, and then slow breath out. And as you breathe out, we're going to do a little tip, a little tilt of the pelvis. So it feels like your bum, your buttocks are dropping down towards the back of your thighs. And then they're rolling the other way. So use an exhale. Is that Irene there? Hi, Irene. Hi, Jackie. Thought I saw somebody else popping. Now, as you're doing this movement seated, there's a temptation for this to happen, this sort of rocking of the whole body. But really, the pelvic tilt is just for the lumbar. It's just for the low spine, not for the rest of us. So if you're seated, you can imagine this area that I'm touching here, from my belly at the front to my back here, rolling backwards, a bit like a wheel rolling backwards. And your bum is rolling down onto the chair. When you're standing, it's like it's rolling towards your thighs, but when you're seated, it's like it's rolling to the back of the chair. So I'm trying to keep my head and shoulders high, and it's a work in progress. That's it. Last one. And then have a little side to side wriggle. Little side to side wriggle. Oh, I've just got it coming from my heels there. Rather than this, it's my heels are doing it. That's it. You can just see if I turn behind, my heels just coming up and down. Right, now take your arms down by your sides and make fists with your thumb on the outside. So a little bit of grip strength work. Reach the arms comfortably downwards and give your fists a little squeeze and release, and a squeeze, release, and a squeeze, release. It's like you've got a cloth full of water and you're squeezing it. I'm sure you're all familiar with that. So reaching down, a little squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. And one more time. Reaching down, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. And as you squeeze, you feel that tension going here, down the back of your arm, lots of places, as well as your hands. Right, do that little squeeze again. Now release and let the thumb and finger come outwards, and they're spreading out. And we're going to spiral the thumb back. That's it. And then let it come back in again. So reaching down, got that fist, open the hands, spiral the thumb, you see the palms open outwards, and how far they go around. You can see my arms going out to the side as well. Depends on your shoulders. Let it relax, going again. So it's like a sort of unfurling. So this next one's different. I'm going to bring our neck into it as well. So reach down, fists, release the thumb, the fingers, open outwards. You can take your arms a little further out to the side. We're going to hold it. So if you need to give a little wriggle somewhere, give a little wriggle and turn your head side to side. And if you like to pull back a little and just bring a few chins in, you can. And then let that go and have a little wriggle. Same again, different neck movement. So we've got fists, we're opening out, spiraling our thumbs round, opening our arms maybe a little higher. This time ear towards shoulder. Take your time. Keep your head facing forwards as the ear goes out to the side. That's it. And then bring that down. And now give your shoulders a little roll, keeping everything close. I'm doing a little alternating one. And forwards. And then something around sort of movement for your neck. So I really like this. Feels like my chin is just tracing a little sort of half circle, maybe a bit bigger, hovering over my collarbone. Some people really like thinking about the tip of their nose and just to draw a little circle with that. Or even a little figure eight. Something that feels pretty nice for your neck. Come back, and now we're going to give bigger shoulder rolls. So I'm working both sides, but it could be you work one side. Keep your arms close to you and long. Breathing in, your shoulders come a little forwards and up. Breathing out, they go around the back. It's a little squeeze together of your shoulder blades. That's it, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And now give yourself a sort of gentle hug. We're not going super tight, but a hug. And now we're going to start to make some circles. I'm lifting my elbows up and away. You could do this keeping your arms on your body and sort of using the energy from your sort of mid back here upwards. Not thinking about going forwards and squashing. It's more about going to the side and back. Oh, I can't work out which way my arms are going. Let's go both ways. So if you haven't gone the other way, so you can either move your arms upwards or keep your arms down and take all the movement from your back. That's it. And then take the arms out. We're either going to have a little turn and twist and let the arms and the hips move, or if you're seated, thigh slide. So take your legs wider, slide a hand up and down, opposite thighs. And your head goes with the body and your spine stays tall. That's it. Come back to the center. Now we're going to have our legs a comfortable width apart for a bit of balance. Toes are pointing forwards. Give your toes a wriggle up and down. Trying to spread your toes out as much as you can. Bare feet, socks, shoes, whatever you've got on, just trying to spread out. Now we're going to take the heels up and down. Now you can see my arms, they're just out to the side to stop me falling over. It could be that you're doing it like this, holding on to something. If you're seated, balance isn't so much of an issue. Bring your arms in. And if you want a bit more challenge, lean forward, your weight over the front of your legs. Your back's going on this diagonal slope, but it's not curved or rounded. And it's just more effort. You can really push down against your heels and make it harder. Now, whichever position you're in, could you go down more slowly? So push up and come down more slowly. And your ankles under control. So if I'm doing this standing, my arms are going to help. Oh, and I'm trying to come down slowly. That was hard. That's better. I was really trying to look ahead to find my balance point. So if you look at something and then just gradually let yourself go lower than that thing. So I'm looking at the camera and I'm coming down. That's it. And one more. And then we're going to do something for our hips. So for this, it's a bit balancy, but it's not a balance exercise. So if you need to hold on to something, please do. Grow tall, sitting or standing, but your weight's on one leg. This other leg, it's like we're trying to wipe one side and then the other side edge. Inside edge, outside edge, inside edge, outside edge. Now, if you've had a hip replacement, you might find that as you go in, it looks more like that. So that in is not very inwards because hip replacements haven't got as much internal rotation generally. That's it. A little message down there. Hello, Paul. I love that. Go, Kerry, go. That's it. Keep growing tall on the other side. This is harder than it looks, this one. I'm sure you're feeling it. Right. Have a little break. Give everything a little wriggle. And then we're going to go for the other side. I'm going to do the side seated. So if I was doing it seated, I tend to hold on to the chair a little bit with this. You could put your hands on your legs, I guess, instead. That's it. And it's really hard to get to those side edges. Take a break, give everything a rub. This next one's a little bit strange, but bear with me. A little bit of external hip rotation. I want you to try and tap somewhere on the inside of your lower leg, like that. So bring that leg up so you don't have to lean over and just give it a little tap. That's it. If you're standing, it's a bit balancy, so you might want something to hold on to. And then I'm just going to tap like that. And I'm trying not to lean forwards. I can see I'm leaning forwards a little bit, so I'm going to be more upright. If I was doing this and I didn't need the balance, it might look a little bit like this. Take your time. Legs can be a bit wider. It's a funny one, this. It does work a little bit on your hip mobility. And we're doing a bit of hip mobility today. Last one each side. It looks like we're trying to catch a fly or something. Give your hips a little rub. Right, now have our legs, we'll have them a little bit wider. We're going to reach an arm upwards. So take your arm up as high as it will go. It could look like you're trying to ask a question in class. It could be your arm is about here because that's as far as that shoulder will go. And then make it even longer. So it might be your arm reaches up longer. It might be the side is going to reach up longer, but you're just trying to go higher. And then take it down. Same on the other side. So it could be arms straight up. I'm not looking for up and over. I'm looking for up. I'm looking for a stretch here. So it could be up like that. It could be up like that. You know, if you can't put your arm out here or your hand needs to rest at the side on your chest, I'm just trying to up, open up here. That's it. We'll do one more on the other side. I think we did a few on the opposite side. Lovely. And then another little swishy. So either standing and moving your arms around, seated, it could be swishing your arms around, wider legs, or it could be hand slides. Gentle rotation. Remembering if you've got osteoporosis, osteopenia, or spinal issues, sort of disc issues often, you're just looking for less force on, you're not wringing out like a cloth. It's not like that squeeze that we did with our hands. It's softer. So I tend to look over each leg if I'm doing this. It just keeps it soft. And then come back to the center. We're going to hip hinge. So we'll have our legs a little wider and the feet slightly out. If you're seated, you could have your hands just very lightly resting on your thighs and pushing your feet down. If it's okay to not have your hands on your thighs, they could just hover, or they could come to your chest. And I want you to push down so you can feel your bum and your thighs get a little bit of the muscle work happening. If you're doing this standing, I'm going to turn to the side. I'm going to put my hands somewhere in this crease here, send my bum back. I can see I'm getting a little bit lower, and it's not from my knees going more forwards, it's just from my bum going back. If your knees are cranky, stay like this, stay on this hip hinge. If they're okay, if they're not cranky and they're not painful, let your knees go forwards. And as you look down, they're sort of going over about the middle of your toes. They're not going on the inside like that. They're not going whoa, on the outside. They're sort of hovering in the middle. And then you push up. It's like your pelvis is coming forwards. That's it. Now we can do this in different directions. You can sort of pivot around. Whether you're doing a hip hinge like this, whether you're doing a squat, so the knees go a little more forward, maybe your arms are going forwards, or you're doing a little prayer. If you're doing this seated, move your legs around. You can't go quite as far. Just brings a bit more variety into it. Variety for different muscles and things as well. And I don't mind if you're going forwards, backwards, as long as it feels safe. I'm doing lots of variations, so don't worry if it doesn't look like me. I'm trying to show it all the versions. Last one. And then stand up. Take your weight to one side. Lift your foot up a little and just give your ankle some slow circles each way. It's my standing version. I'm going to do a seated version. So I'm going to bring this leg out, keep the heel on the floor. If you can't lift your leg, so the heel could stay there. Or it might be you're happy lifting your leg up or putting your hands behind, supporting your leg. I am going to suggest today for some of the moves we do, particularly in seated, that using something, this is like a yoga belt, no stretch. If you find your leg heavy and difficult to lift up, you can use a strap like this or a belt, something without stretch, as a sling really, and it just helps bring your leg up so that your ankle gets all the benefit. So we're going to use one of these a little bit in the second half in the seated position and maybe in the lying down position too, if you find it really difficult to lift your leg and control it. It just really helps you. Right, what we're doing next, a roll down. So we're going to do a gentle roll down that's suitable for everybody. It's more of a hip hinge with a little spinal movement. So we'll go into that hip hinge, seated or standing, sending your bum back. Now think about your bum going down towards your thighs, that little tip. Walk your hands up your thighs, grow tall, give your shoulders a little roll. I'll show you the same seated. So we're down in that hip hinge position. My hands are on my legs. I'm going to roll my bum back. My belly pulls back. Now there's a little bit of rounding here in this low spine. Hands walk back towards me. I'm tall. I'm going to give my shoulders a roll. One more time, whichever version you're doing. I'm going to go for a lower one here. Perfect. Right, we're going to lie down or stay seated. So make your movement to whichever place you're going to be. So you might be lying down on a bed. You might be sitting on your chair. But get yourself comfy. Maybe you want a cushion underneath your head or behind you on your chair. And remember that belt or strap, dressing gown belt would do as well, because they tend to have minimal stretch. You just don't want something really stretchy. Right, let's lie down, my favourite bit. And just spend a moment or two getting yourself ready, and a longer moment taking yourself down in the first place as well. There's no rush. I'm just going to have a little side sway here. This is what I really like when I come down onto the floor. My feet are just gently steering my body from side to side, and it gets my lower back settled. That's the area that gets a bit sore for me at times. I know my cushion is set up for my neck, so that's all comfy. I'm looking straight at the ceiling. And if you are seated, you're looking straight ahead. And then rest in the middle, so you're not moving one way or the other. And we're just trying to get ourselves settled. And then we'll bring our feet to hip width. I was going to say bring our hip width to feet. That's not quite right. And your legs are in I could just call it a triangle leg. They're about 90-degree angle. Your feet are on the floor. Your hands just resting on your belly. And we can go back to that wide breath at the waist. You can put your hands there if you want, or just still rest your hands on your belly. But as you breathe in, especially when you're lying down, you might feel more contact of your back against the surface you're lying on. And blow the breath out, or let it go slowly through your nose. Close your eyes if you want to. A couple more breaths like that. Wide. To your waist, like you're trying to make everything a little wider. And a slow exhale. One more. And then we're going to do that breath again and make it into a pelvic tilt. So you're breathing in, and as you breathe out, you're just giving that little tip, pubic bone towards nose. Your head or back doesn't change. Your low back does change, mid and upper back, but your low back's dipping either down towards the mat. I can feel like the belly comes in towards the low ribs here, or the hips come closer to the ribs, or towards the back of your chair, the waistband pushing back. And then let that relax and go the opposite way. So it almost feels like there's a little arc underneath your back. We're all going to vary. For some of us, hardly at all. For some of you, quite a lot. Just keep rocking backwards and forwards. The things to watch, what I look at when I'm teaching, so if I move my arm out of the way, I look at people's tops and t-shirts. And you can see as I do my tilt towards me, look at all the creases here. My belly's sunk down. My hip bones, which are here, are closer to my low ribs. And I feel like I'm sort of almost like being pulled down to the floor. Now I'm going to go the opposite way. And it's like the creases start to come out. Still a few there, but they sort of relax. And there's space here. This shadow changes a little. And one more. That's it. Right, now we'll have a little wriggle side to side. So just like we did before in standing, it's like you're trying to lift up one butt cheek from the mat or one butt cheek from your chair, but without your head and your shoulders really moving around. Just a little wriggle upwards. It's tempting to push into your feet, but you'll just slide further up your mat. So it's just a little lift each side. Push down into your feet rather than away from you, just downwards into the heel. That's it. Right, we'll let that go. Now what are we doing next? I'm just having a little check of my plan. Oh, yes. So now we're going to bring a knee towards us. And this is where you might want, especially if you're seated, that belt or strap. But you can use your hands or nothing at all. So without your back changing, lift one leg, press the other foot down, lift that leg in that shape towards you, towards your chest. If you've got a hip replacement, about here is normally where they recommend you stay. You don't go really super far in. If you haven't, you might be able to go a little further, but without dipping down and sinking or anything changing here. So we're just lifting, leg towards us. You can give it a little pull in if you like, but we're keeping the back the same. Now, if I was doing this seated, might look like this. So I'm not leaning towards it. I'm not curving towards it. I'm just staying upright and my leg is coming towards me. So that's with a little hand underneath. Might be that you've got some strength and you can do it without the hand. Press the other foot down. Or it might be that you've got a belt and you're just using that. Maybe do a few on one side and a few on the other. And then we're going to start going in circles. So I'll show you the seated position first. Now for seated, you probably won't need the belt or a strap for this. We're just going to draw a circle with our foot and let our knee and our leg move out as we do it. We'll do 4 circles one way, 4 circles the other. If you're lying down, it might be that you're comfortable lifting your leg to a tabletop, or even with your calf dropped and your thigh vertical, and you can do circles that way or this way. But this side, this leg is still. Your rest of your body is still. So there's no sort of rocking side to side. It's just this leg moving in the socket. Now, it may be that you prefer something, a bit of resistance to work with. So here, it's not my hand doing the work, it's my leg pushing it against the band. My hand could help. And it might even be that you're comfortable extending your leg further away and maybe the other leg further away. I'm moving it slightly out to the side. I'm going to push the heel away. So that's a lot of variations. All of them are good. 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 times each direction. And then bring the legs back so your feet are on your floor and just let them have a small sway side to side just to ease off. And then we repeat on the other side. So might be in a tabletop shape. You might be moving the leg by itself. You could have your hands behind and help move it. You could have a belt or a strap. Now, this is when everything else is moving, not that. Press this leg down. This arm can reach down here and give you a little bit of extra traction, extra resistance. It could be that this leg is long and slightly away, and I'm just turning it very slightly out and leaning into my heel. Could be this leg is long as well, and the arms are further out. Now, again, hip replacements tend to go outwards and not really over the midline, just because the range of motion tends to be smaller. I'm going to change direction. Otherwise, make it work for you. It might be you've got really big range of motion. It goes way across the body. It might be it's much smaller and it's more like drawing like a dustbin lid. That's it. And then bend that leg. Bend the other leg. Ease off, a little wriggle. And let things very softly roll from side to side, rolling onto the side edges of your feet, not trying to go very far. And in this position, hands back on your belly and pelvic tilts again. Using the exhale to get that little tipping sensation. And as you inhale, it's moving away. The energy for this comes from your belly muscles, not from squeezing your bum. Not even pressing into the feet here, because we're not going into bridge or anything. That's it. And one more. And then we're going to roll onto our side and come up to a seated position. And we're bringing ourselves into whatever is a comfortable seated position for you. So that might be that you're sitting on the floor. It might be you need to sit on something. I've got things like this block, and if it feels like I can't get my back very straight, I sort of sit on that like a little miniature chair. And it just makes me sit a little taller. So we're going to do some rotation sitting here, bringing our arms forward. And then we're going to slide this elbow back low and by our side and reach the other arm forwards. And then bring it back. So a little archer or bow and arrow. This works just the same sitting in a chair. You might find that the elbow goes into your chair back, so it might help to sit to the side of your chair. So as one arm reaches forwards, the other reaches back. Now, osteoporosis and osteopenia, a small rotation, okay? But going like that and really pushing it, too much force. So keep it soft and gentle. Otherwise, if you haven't got spinal issues, you can do that real pull of opposites. Now, sticking to the same side for a few. And then I'm going to change sides, going to go the other way around. That's it. And then just a gentle one reaches, one, the other reaches, that's the one. And then we're going to start pushing across. So if I do this facing you, slightly pushing something away in each diagonal. And then make it smaller and smaller and smaller. And then let's have a hug again. This one might be a little tighter. And we'll bring some circles in. Now I'm using my sort of mid and upper back till you do that, but it could also be your elbows help as well. And the other way. Open out, change it over. Circles again, about 3. Maybe think of a washing machine cycle. Open out. And we'll open and close, just really soft. And now we're going to open and take our palms out to the sides. Scoop up the air and take a breath in. Bring your hands together into your chest. Well done. So quite a bit of mobilizing for the hips today. Some gentle rotations as well. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got yourself moving. And I shall see you again next week. Have a great week. Oh, Ruth. Hello, Ruth. I missed you. Missed you joining us there. I'm glad you joined in. You know, you can always catch the recording later as well. Right. See you soon, everyone.